What's happening, everyone? We're back today with another video on the ST. I've left it a bit late because it's already starting to spit. I'm hoping it will hold off. It's ruined my plans probably of washing this thing today because it's absolutely filthy and it's like a fucking skip at the minute. But we're not doing a video on that today. We are actually going to be doing a couple of bits on the engine bay, like dressing it up. So we've got a Car Enhancements UK bolt dress up, and we've got the additional one for the tail lights too. I'm sure I've got a box of stainless steel like self-tapper bolts I remembered the other day. So if I manage to find them, I'll be replacing like the bolt on the header tank and stuff like that, which would be nice. I've got some little chrome bits like fuel rail cover, a little cover for the fuse box, just silly little bits really, bonnet catch. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll just get more into it. There's too much sort of here to really explain each item one by one, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Right, so as you can see, if I pull this grill off, which we'll need to do anyway, I'll just place that up there like that. You've got these little Torx bolts here, here, same for the other side. I also want to replace this one here if I can find the box that I have, and then you've got your three strut nuts there. We'll be doing this on both sides, of course. I've also got another Lego box because I was a bit heavy-handed and broke it, and it's gone a bit off-white now, so that'll be getting replaced too. But if I just move this grill over there, I'll get this off because this thing's fucked. So we've got a cover for here as well, and we've got a nice little cover for the fuel rail, and then this little plate here. I will be probably spraying this at one point because it does look a bit rusty in some areas, but for now it will do because it's just too cold to be spraying stuff. It takes too long to dry. But yeah, so I'm just going to have a quick dig around for the box of self-tappers here, and then we will get back into it. Okay, so we'll start off with these strut bolts. Start off with the worst one first, I suppose. Do the other side as well, just quickly. Okay, so these rubber bungs and the domed nuts that we're going to be using on the strut tops today are by a guy named Scott Pope. This is his Instagram there if you want to give him a follow. These are the rubber bungs we'll be using to place them. It's hard to see on my car because I've got a strut brace, but over that thread there, my one pokes out too much so I can't do it, so I'm going to have to make a hole of some sort in my ones. But these are the little rubber bungs, and these are the domed nuts that we'll be using to hide the threads as well, with some flat washers. So I'll quickly unpack these, and then we'll start fitting the dome nuts because that's the first thing we've done, and then I'll probably just make a little hole in the center of this and hopefully fit these too. Okay, so those nuts are now fitted and look much better than the old ones. And I've done the other side as well off camera because you don't need to see it twice. I did have quite a few spare washers, wasn't too sure why. Maybe because I know he does a kit for these as well, he might have just added them in by accident, but I'm not too worried. I mean, I'm quite happy just double nutting them on all of them, because when I just tightened, I put the dome nut on just this one, because as you can see this strut brace is quite a thick brace, and I can still wiggle the sort of stud, so it was no good. But now that's nice and solid with them all double nutted on all corners. Doesn't look too bad as well, to be fair. So I've just tested now the size for the thread on that. Okay, so scrap the idea on the rubber bungs. The threads are too tall for me to even sort of make it look presentable, so not interested as far as I'm concerned. So we're just going to move on to the bolts that secure the headlamp. So 3 T30s, and then there's one just under here. Easy enough. Okay, and then we've got our little countersink washers with the countersink screws. Definitely glad I had a socket on it ready for a gun on that, because they were tight otherwise. As you can see, looks quite smart. I need to just tidy this silicone up from where I sealed the headlamp, but much nicer. Now we've got one to do here on the wing. That is not going to be fun at all, which is this one here, because the bonnet strut is going to want to move, so just gonna have a little fight with that, and we'll take it from there. So it's a 10mm socket. To be fair, but yeah, much nicer than that. Just need to sort that one out now. It's letting the side down, but all I'm going to do now is just quickly do the other side, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so realised what the last bolt was for. It was actually for the coolant bottle, so lovely. Looks a lot nicer than that rusty old fucking 10mm. And just move out of the way. We've now got the other side in. This side was a pain, as you can see. It's a bit pissed on the actual strut bar, but I don't know if you can be able to see, but it's basically stripped. So when I went to tighten it down, it just wouldn't tighten and it was all flappy, so I've had to like just put a nut on the end of the self tapper, which is not ideal at all, but it is nice and secure. It ain't going nowhere. It's just that it's a bit pissed because obviously I needed about 4 sets of hands to keep it straight and bloody have the spanner tightened, stuff like that, but I can live with it for now. I mean, it does bug me. I'm very funny like that because this side's nice and straight, but if it comes to it, I'll just get someone to literally just push that, and then or maybe even just have another crack off camera. But as for the bolts in the engine bay now, this is all done, so we're now going to get onto the nice chrome shiny stuff. Okay, so I had a little go off camera of that other strut, but I think what the best cure will be is just to get a larger self tapper screw with the same sort of size head. So we'll leave that to another day, but now we're going to be taking off these 410mm here. New stainless bolts with the plate attached, and basically all the plate does, just so you know, is just, there's the old plate and then the new one just goes on top. Before I tighten it. I have got all the mirrors for all these, but I want to get the bonnet painted underneath first. But I've got sort of few issues out. As you can see, we've had some rubbing issues with certain things, but we'll address that when it comes to it, because as you can see, the dipstick is probably the main culprit. See the white paint on the top just there, so that's quite a nice little touch just added. Right, so we're going to go down to the actual fuel rail now. Again, nothing too strenuous. As you can see, this one comes with some sticky tape. Probably should have test fitted this before I did it. My guess would be something around the lines of this. Okay, so chrome fuel rail cover is on after that fail now. Hopefully we will be tucking this wiring harness so you could get a better view of it. Only issue of it being with the Velcro is quite thick, so it doesn't sit quite flush on the sides, but I've just pushed it as far as it can, so from the front it looks quite nice and flush with the rail. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to waste too much time on it. It looks okay. I'm like standing here. It goes quite well with the bonnet plate as well. So I've just added a strip of Velcro to the fuse block and the cover. So again, just be a case of try and tease this boy in, because we got catch can. So I'll just have a little mess around with this and put you guys down. Not ideal, as I don't want to get no fingerprints on it, but sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. Just tease it down there. Okay. That's now on. Looks lovely. So all I'm going to do now is refit this Lego block, because my old one shagged, so I'm just going to quickly just blast through and cut it to bits, fit that, and then all we have left is to do the dress up on the rear, on the tail lights. Okay, last but not least, T20 Torx here, one at the bottom as well. I've already done the other side to show you what it looks like. Excuse the mess in the boot, don't worry about that. So this one should be a bit more simple. Okay, so that's done now, so we're just going to do a quick walk around on what we've done. So the rear dress up bolt kit now, go around to the front, new Lego box for the battery cover, fits much nicer now that I've trimmed it to fit the Mountune airbox, which is down there, and isn't all broken, looks nice and fresh, as the old one was quite yellowy. Got now a bolt dress up kit for the headlamp and wing bolt, well, you can't really see that bolt there, and then for the coolant bottle as well. It's just these ones now that are letting the side down. Also have our bonnet latch plate, our fuel rail cover, and the little fuse block cover just hidden behind there. Overall, I think it looks quite nice now. Slowly getting there on the little minor details. Sorry I ain't been doing much big jobs on the car recently. It's just that the weather's so on and off at the moment, like it's raining, one minute it's not, and it's just quite cold at the minute. I mean, even being out here now is just sort of quite frustrating. You get quite a bit of a headache as well being out in the cold quite long, but overall quite happy that we sort of achieved something today, just to find the little details to sort of make the bay look a bit nicer. I just want to sort a few things out now, i.e. like the dipstick rubbing. We've got a few other bits as well that we've ran into on this car that you'll be seeing in the up and coming weeks, because I do have some time off work and we should hopefully get some of the bigger jobs done, which will help lead us to the dyno, because I know a lot of you have been asking, when's it going on the dyno, when's it going on the dyno. We've run into a few issues. I'll let you on to one of them. May even need to put another exhaust on this car, because it doesn't fit right, it rattles, it drives me fucking insane, and no matter what I do, it just fights me. I'm just getting a bit pissed off of it, if I'm totally honest with you. I'd rather just sort of take it, get a custom one, tailor-made to this car, tailor-made to this fucking stupid ass Mountune manifold down there. That's been the root to all my fucking issues. I wish I never bought it, but ran it over. We'll get it sorted, get it mapped. It's just that I want to do a few things before we get it mapped, and you'll understand why I want to get these things done as well, because I don't really want to take the car to a dyno the way it is at the minute. These things do need addressing, but as you can see there, that needs addressing because it's been rubbing. That needs addressing, so I might put some razors on the bonnet or something. I know a lot of you don't like them, but I quite actually do. But yeah, I mean, we're getting there slowly, and we'll get to the bigger jobs again soon. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the subscribe button. We're nearly close to 500 subscribers now, getting there slowly, and if we do get there quicker, I'll reveal why we haven't been going to the dyno, apart from obviously the exhaust, which you know about. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and